In the last video, we saw that how we created a new agent. We build a agent based on the knowledge sources for the policy documents. In this video, we are going to take a look at how we can modify the existing topic, how we can create the topics, add a multiple condition, and based on that, how we can generate the generative answer using AI. Also, we are going to take a look at how to use the variables to show the dynamic data in our agent. So for that, what I will going to do, I'm going to go on topic. So let's try with this very basic one. So here, if I refresh my agent, it's going to give me a welcome message. Hello, how I can help you? But I want to make it more dynamic. So I want it to ask it about my name, and it should use that name only when it return any response on any topic, right? So here I need to ask one question here. So here in the conversation start topic, it says here how I can help you. Now what I can do after that, I want to ask a question to the user. So I will select ask a question. Here I will put my question. Like before we proceed, can you please tell me your name? And this name is a string, right? So these are the entities. So the person name we want to extract. So what are the entity? It will identify based on whatever the response we tell them. It's going to automatically extract that entity. So that matches with the person name. So then here we have multiple options. We can create a new entity, but I think the default are very much relevant to us. Like we can ask about like please give me your email address, and we can use the email entity. So whether if we give the response, my email address is swami@some xyz.com, so it will extract that email ID only, not the complete text. So that I will show you how it's working. Then I want to save the user response as, so it is going to show the response in the variable. So I will rewrite the variable name as var person name. Now I want this variable to be accessed globally, not relevant to this topic only, but I want to access it globally. So I will use that one. I'll click on save. Now once we got the username, I want to send them a message. So let's say I will delete this message, hello, and after that I will send them a message like, hi Swami, how can I help you? Now my name I have put static, but I want to make it dynamic, and that name I am storing in the variable. So what I can do, I will just remove this one, click on the variable icon, and here we have the person name, hi, how I can help you. Now I will save it. Now let's refresh the bot. See, it first asked me before we proceed, can you please tell me your name? So initially I will just write my name like this. So it gives me a dynamic data, right? As for me, how can I help you? Now what I will do, I will write my name in a detailed manner, let's say, before we can proceed. Okay, you want to know my name. So my name is, let's say, I will put another, let's say Alex. Let's see what happened. You see, it automatically identify the person name out of this complete entity. So that doesn't mean if we provide the variable, and it's going to identify the person name from the complete text. So this is how the entities are working. I think you got the point about what entity is. If you have any question at this point, you can just let me know in comments. So this is the first step. So this is the dynamic step. to create a variable, let's say. Now what I want to do, I want to give some user option. So if you look at the demo website, I will just quickly show you. If I go to channels, there's a link to demo website. If I copy, go it here. Okay. So whenever our agent load, here I want some information, like user know what to ask to this agent, because if it is just giving me a welcome message, I'm not sure what type of question, what type of queries I can ask to this agent. So it is always recommended that you give some option to user so that they know what you can ask to this agent. So now what I'm going to do, just going to go to topics, then after that in the conversation start only, or let's say I will create a new topic. Okay, for the option one, I'm going to use the conversation start only. So after we greeting the user, hi Alex, how can I help you, I will ask one question again. Let's say I will use the existing one only. Alex, instead of how can I help you, let's say to start a conversation, you can select any question from below, or you can ask a question. Now I will ask a question which gives some option to the user. So that's going to be multiple choice question. So the question is, tell me how can I help, or let's say I will give option to user. Okay, so I want your user to, let's say the first option will be explain me leave policies. The second one will be, okay, I think it's second one option will be tell me who are in, let's say IT department. Third option, let's say we can say this one is from the HR policies, this is from the team member, and another document we have is from the, okay, tell me how to request for a new laptop. I have added 3 documents earlier, and these 3 questions belongs to those 3 documents. So as I am typing all the options, you see under all the conditions are automatically created. So if the user select explain me leave policy, it's going to go in this condition only. So you see there's a if else condition only. It's not that rocket science. If you see the var one, because the var one is this one, save user response. So whatever the response is from that question, it will save in this variable. So make it more understandable, I will just change the variable name. So it is going to update it in all the places, so you don't have to go to each condition and change it. Now I will save it, and let me refresh the agent. So it asked me, before we proceed, can you please tell me your name? Well, okay, my name is, okay, I don't think it understand that one. Let me try it again. Okay, my name is, okay, it got that. Hi Samit, to start a conversation, you can select any question from the below, or you can ask a question. So it goes into the first one only. You see the check boxes, check mark, sorry, and then it asks me question, tell me how can I help? And it gives me three options: explain me leave policy, tell me who are in the IT department, and tell me how to request for a new laptop. Let's see what happen if I select any one of them. Let's say tell me how to request for a new laptop. So you see it goes here, but in this condition, after that I did not added any action, like it stuck here only. It don't know like where to go to next. So this is something we want to search in the document. So for that, what we are going to use, we are going to use that conversational boosting topic. Like it's the unknown intent, right? So what I can do here, you can go to topic management. You can click on go to another topic. So here you can transfer topic in between, right? So go to another topic, and here we have the option conversational boosting. And if I open the conversational boosting topic, let me save this first. So to explain again, what I did is I asked question to the user. Based on this question, it created multiple, what I can say, hierarchies. Let's say the first question will run when the user select the first option based on that. And here, if I select any option, so it's going to redirect to the conversational boosting topic. So what conversational boosting topic does, if I create go to conversational boosting, it's going to take the activity.text. So whatever this text is, it's going to generate a answer based on our knowledge source. So if I refresh it, and let's see if it works. So I think this one, tell me how I can get this one. Now see, jump back to that conversational boosting topic. You see, to request a new laptop, you need to notify the IT department, moving, disposing, or any transfer, right, of IT equipment. And if I click on it, it gives me all the data. So this is how the conversational boosting topics works. If there is anything that is not in the topic, it's going to use the knowledge sources to search about the question what user ask. And let's say if I ask something about the another one, it's not going to run because we did not added any action below them. So for each of them, what I can do, let's say, or we can directly add it here. If let's see if it works. So if you select any one of them, I want directly to transfer this topic to the conversational boosting, and I will just delete this one. So instead of adding one by one for each of them, I will directly add this here. I'll click on save. So now the expected behavior is if users select any one of them, it will go into the conversational boosting topic. Now let's see if it's working. I will refresh the agent. It asks my name. I will select explain me leave policies. So as expected, it goes in a conversational boosting topic. It's going to generate a creative answers. Then after that, the answer, we got the answer which is not blank, and after that end the current topic. So you see explain me leave policy. I got all the policies and the relevant references links here, and then it end the topic. So this is how we can transfer the conversation in between different topics. So I hope you get the idea about how we can add a new actions. Right now we are creating one extra topic. Let's say to get, let's say if any employee ask for the leave information, we will ask them if they are a full-time employee or a part-time employee. Because if I show you the document, let me open that website. So in this website I have uploaded a document but my knowledge sources are from local system, so don't get confused here. I did not added this as a knowledge source. These are just I put in the online. So here is my leave policy document. So let's see if we can build some topic and get the response by conditions. Okay, so we'll take an example from here. So if any employee asks for how many annual leaves I have, right? So there are some conditions. First time is full-time employee will have 40 hours per week. These are the part-time employee will have the 20 hours, and those are in probational period. The criteria is different, right? So we'll ask about this one. So now go to the agent, add a new topic. So here we have two things. You can create it from blank, you can create it from the Copilot description. But if you are a beginner, I will definitely recommend you have to create everything from scratch to understand how things working behind the scene. But if you are experienced and you know how things works, you can go with the complete create from the description with Copilot. I will create it from blank. If you're creating from scratch, it will do a good learning for you as well, because in that case you know how things works. So here I will add some phrases like how many annual leave, let's say annual leave balance. So if employee asks about this topic or this keyword, it's going to trigger this topic. Say get leave balance info. Then after that, what I want to do, I want to ask them a question like what's your employment type. So this would be the multiple choice question. We'll give option to select from those three. So the first option is full-time, second option is part-time, third option is new joinee, let's say, or probationary. I think I wrote it correctly. Okay. We have to save the user response. Let's say the var1. I will write it as var employment type. And we want this variable to limited to this topic only. I don't want this to access globally. Now what I can do, once user select this one, we can add a condition. So here we have sent a message. We saw the ask a question. Now here we are going to add a condition. So let's say where employment type is equal to full-time, part-time, or probationary. Let's say full-time. Then I will send a message. Let's say I will just copy it from here to save the time. So this is copy, the exact thing I'll paste it. Let me click on save so I don't lose my work. So here I have added condition here, but you can directly put that message here only. Okay. So to make it simplify, I will just directly put this message up there. Here is employment type is full-time. Then I will directly send a message. I just wanted to show you how you can add the condition manually. So to go here and here you can add the condition. So I will just delete them all. Okay, now For the part-time, same one, I'm going to send a message. For the part-time employee, it will have this one. And for the probationary period employees, I will show this message. Now click on save. Refresh the agent. Now let's say I will not ask about anything. I will just trigger that conversational based on like annual leave balance. Let's see if it triggers that one or not. Okay, it's not triggering because it's stuck in this loop only because we have to select option from here. Let's say if I ask about, I want more generic, I want to know annual leave balance. It is in the loop only. So what you can do here, you can add a new option called as other, and if I select other, then you can just add a condition here to redirect to some specific topic. So what I can do, I will just click on other. Here we have the condition. And let's see, if I select other, I will end my current topic. Let's see if it works. So I will refresh it. It asks me my name. It goes into the question. I will select other. So I think it end current topic. I will select annual leave balance. It goes in the topic called as get leave balance info. It asks me the question, what's your employment type? So I will choose part-time. So it goes into the condition where it matches with the employment time is equal to part-time, and it sends this message. Now these messages we have give static. What if we want to make it more personalized, let's say? Okay, so what we can do, instead of sending a static message, so I will keep it as it is, and just below that I will add an action, create generative answer. Here in the advanced section, here we have the generative answers. So here we'll give the input. Here we will give the input like my employment type is part-time. I want to know what are leave policies for me. So this is my input. I will edit the data source. So I don't want to search in a specific, let's say. Okay. Here, if you turn this option on, search only selected data source, then it's going to search only in the selected data source only. So I know this topic is specifically about the leave policy, right? So I don't want my agent to search in all document to take time. So what I can do, I can just turn this option on, search only selected data source. I will select, I want to search only in the leave policy document only. So in this way, we can save a lot of time. I will save it. Now I will refresh the agent. I'll give a dummy name. It asks me, tell me how can I help. I will select other. I will ask a question, get annual balance. Then it asks me question, what's your employment type? So I think we have added that condition under part-time, so I will select a part-time. So first it's going to give me the static message that we just put there, and then it's going to generate an answer. So let's see what answer it generated. You see, the first one is very static, the second one is more personalized for part-time employees at Brightwave. So this is just a dummy company name I have put in the document. So these are the leave policy. So annual part-time employees can have these policies. For part-time employee, what are the sick leaves, what are the family and medical leaves? So all these information are for the part-time employees, and this information already exists in my documents. So I hope you understand like how we can use this action to generate creative answers instead of just putting the message. And just imagine you don't have the capability to add the generative answer. So what you will do in that case? So earlier, let's say if there is no action for this, then what you will have to do? You have to add a multiple conditions. So earlier I have added, right? So I will add a condition to check what is my employment type, whether it's a part-time, full-time or probationary. Then again I will add separate message for each of them, for jury duty, for military leave, for unpaid leave. So just imagine like how many actions I am going to add it here. But using the generative answer creation, I am only adding one action and all the response is generated by AI itself only. Now let's take a look at what are the different options we have to explore. So we have send a message, we saw ask a question, we saw. We also saw how we can add a multiple conditions. Then we saw like how we can transfer topic. There we have the variable management. We already saw like how we can create a new variable. In advanced setting, these are some advanced option, but in advanced we saw that how we can generate the answer using AI. And then there is one more important thing, like ask a question with adaptive card. So there are 2 points. The first one is ask question. It will just give you a text box and some formatting options. But there is another option where you can ask using adaptive card. So here we have the adaptive card. So let's say if you are collecting some employee information or employee details, so instead of asking one by one, you can generate a form using adaptive card displayed to the employee so that they can fill the form. So for this also I will going to create a new topic just so you know how to use that adaptive card. I will save it first. Go to topics. I will create a new topic from blank. Okay, forget about blank. Let's explore this one. Create from the description with Copilot. The name of the topic will be collect user information. And here we need to write a proper description. So based on that, it's going to generate us the action automatically. So this topic will get the information from user. I will not write this topic will get the information from the adaptive card, otherwise it will generate the adaptive card itself. But I want you guys to show how you going to work with adaptive card. So let's see, using this information only, what AI will create for us. So you see the topic has been created, and based on the information that we gave, right? So we want to collect the user personal information. So you see the topic we asked, get the information from user. So these are the information that we can get from the user. What is your name, email address, phone number, in which city you are looking, and then after that we have to send the activity. So you see for each of them it asked a separate question. So I think you got the idea like how we can use that AI to create a new topic But in our case, we don't want to ask the information one by one. We want to ask it in a form only. So I will delete them all. And I will keep this message, thank you for sharing information, and I will remove these variables. If you notice, when we create a topics using the AI, it automatically adds the relevance phrases. Earlier I have added just one phrase, annual leave balance, but here I have asked the question, but it gives me the phrases like share my details, give you my info, submit personal data. So this is how the AI can be helpful for us. When the topic will trigger, I'm going to ask with the adaptive card. So here we have to put the adaptive card. So if you don't know how to create adaptive card, or if you have never worked with before, you can go to the adaptive card designer. The first link from the MSFT. So this is we can say playground where you can build your adaptive card by using these text blocks, let's say, and all that content is going to automatically update. So let's say if I delete everything, so you see this is the JSON file. Let's say this is the my form. If I want to add a text, I can add a text here. Then here you can select what's the label. I can give a label like this one. I'm not going to explain what the adaptive card here is. You can explore it on your own. But if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask me in comments. But in adaptive card thing, I'm going to use ChatGPT to generate it for me. So let's get to the ChatGPT. Okay, so here I can ask something like, I don't want to log in. I want to create an adaptive card where I want full name, email address, date of birth, let's say. If I hit it, it will generate me the adaptive card. So it gives me the full name, the email address, date of birth. I will copy this code. I will go to my agent. So here we already have the schema, version and body. Okay, I think I need to copy the array only. This array I will copy. And let's put here. So it gives me the unknown element type action dot submit, fallback if you use present. Okay, action dot submit, we can remove it. And let's see what is the action submit. If I go to action set, I want to submit it. Okay, and what the ChatGPT generated for us is not valid. So we have type and title, but this is the correct one. So I'll just copy it from here, and at the bottom just paste it. Okay, so we all know like this is not the really updated content, but this really helps us to draft it. But if I do it from scratch here, it will take me, let's say, 5 or 10 minutes, but it gives me here in a seconds. But yes, you'll always need to verify if you are using updated data here, right? Now if I copy it and paste it again, so you see there is a full name, email address, date of birth, and action dot submit. Now here there are some settings, so you don't have to really play with it. You can explore it, but for our case we don't want to change anything here. So after that we are sending a message, thank you for sharing your information, and here is the summary. So for the summary, you see whenever we use the adaptive card, it is automatically going to generate the variables for you based on whatever you ID you have. So here once user fill the information, I am going to show the same information to them. So here we have the name, what's happening. Okay, create, click on the variable, and here I will select full name. After that I am going to share them their email. So this is the email, and last one will be date of birth. Now I'll click on save. So let me refresh the agent. Now I don't want to go with these questions. I will select other. Now I'll ask submit my personal info. As expected, it will go in the collect user information topic. It shows me the adaptive card. Here I will enter my full name. Somali at the rate abcd.com, and date of birth will be, let's say, 23. Click on action.submit. It triggers the message, thank you for sharing your information. Here is my name, here is my email, and here is my date of birth. So this is how you can use the adaptive card. So what is the use case here? So let's say if you build some agent where you need to check some eligibility criteria of the user, right? So you can just create a topic, and based on the generative answer and the documents you have, you can answer the queries from there. But let's say if your user wants some more answers from a real person, let's say, so instead of directing or transferring them on a call, user can provide their information like this one. It will go to the concerned person and they can reply it on their email. So this is the thing, you can do it. Now let's say if we want to add the Power Automate flow here, how you can do that? So let's say if I submit the information, I want to trigger a Power Automate flow, right? So how you can do it? Just click on the plus icon, call to action. Here you can create a flow. Now it's going to redirect you to Power Automate, but the trigger will be Copilot. So if you worked with the Power Apps, and if you create any flow with the Power App, the triggering point will be Power Apps only. So in this case, it will be the Copilot. See, when a Copilot Studio calls a flow. Now this is the trigger and returns a value. Everything we have to do to add a new action, let's say. And here, save and refresh. Okay, let's cancel it. Here we are getting the information like full name, email, date of birth. So in the flow, they will going to be an input. So here I will add the inputs like full name, email, date of birth. Okay, so this one is the date. Okay, we don't have date. Okay, these three details we are passing from the Copilot Studio. The next action, I'm going to just add it. Let's say send an email. It will ask you to create a connection first if you haven't done it earlier. So I'm in my different environment currently, that's why it's asking me. So here, with whom you want to send that email, I'm going to send that email to my personal account only. So here the subject I will write new user submission. The body will be here there. New user submitted their information. There will be a full name, their email address, and their date of birth. So these three things we have already configured in the trigger. So I'll click on this dynamic one and get the full name, then get their email and get their date of birth. Then after that we don't have to do it here. Let's save and publish it. Here it has been published. I will just rename my flow, send email to, let's say, HR. Let me hit on publish again. Okay, go back here. So we'll have to wait for a minute or two to that flow to appear here. So let me refresh the tab. Now I'll go back to the plus icon, call to action. Let's see if that flow is happening or not. Okay, this is the flow. I think the name is not get updated yet. So I think this is the flow. Power Visual Agent. Oh, okay, I can go to topics, collect user info, plus call to action and the flow. So as expected, it is going to ask some full name, email and date. So this information we are already storing in the variable. So we just need to pass them here. The full name is in this variable, same for email and same for date of birth. So let me save it. Topic, okay, got. So date of birth is the date type we have added, but in Power Automate flow we are taking this as a string. I think that's why the, yes, it's the type error only. So we'll check. We don't have the option for dates here. Okay, I'll just remove it. We'll have to remove it from here as well. Let me publish it. Let me refresh. So I have removed the date field from my Power Automate flow. So it is got updated here. Now we can test it whether the Power Automate flow is running or not. So here it will ask me my name. I will give it, select other. Then I will ask submit my info. So here is my information. I click on submit. It says that thank you for sharing your information. The session is in still progress, let's say. I'll just track between topics. If I go to topic, collect user info. Let me check the flow run if the flow is run or not. So you see the flow has been run successfully. So it got my full name and email address from the Copilot Studio, and it sent an email to the email address. So let me open that email. So here I received that email. The new user information has been submitted, and this is the full name and email address. So this is how you can integrate your Power Automate. So let's say you want to get data from any external system, you can use a Power Automate, use HTTP action to call that API, and you can always return that response. So we saw how we can pass the inputs, but here at the bottom you can always return the value to the Copilot Studio as well. So I hope you understand like all the things about the Power Automate integration and how to create different topics and the configuration related things. If you have any questions regarding this video or the previous video, you can let me know. Thank you.